Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasayang papawid 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Happy Thursday po mga kababayan. Kwebe na nga, but not so happy unfortunately nga today. First and foremost, apologies dahil nga wala ngayon si Kuya Sonny. May sakit nga siya. So he's sorry he can't join us, but he hopefully I'll love to him and greetings nga. I'm sure he'll be right as rain next week and will be able to join us. But unfortunately can't join us. But I will try my level best to obviously fill his very big shoes, no? And entertain and hopefully impart some knowledge nga ngayon. We have quite a big topic and we have some really good questions. So please keep me company. So happy Thursday, but not so happy today in that siguro nabalitaan nyo, the Queen has today died. It seems it was confirmed at about 6:30 na namatay nga siya in her state in Balmoral. And so now we have a new monarch. We have now, I don't know whether he'll take up King Charles, but yeah, so he's so our Queen has unfortunately passed away. I mean, she's in the United Kingdom, at least, she has been the longest reigning monarch. She is, I think, top 3 actually of longest reigning monarchs, having lived to the ripe old age of 96. And of course, we celebrated this year her jubilee. And she was also able to take part in that. So it's terribly sad. I mean, only Tuesday. Nakita nyo nga, no? We of course. Actually, it's a week of quite a lot of big changes. No? So of course, it's somewhat overshadowed now. But we have now a new Prime Minister. Boris Johnson has of course resigned, and then. There was an election within the Tory party members, and they have chosen our new PM, our new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, who only met the Queen actually nung lang Tuesday, no. So the Queen was actually working until Tuesday. Thursday nga lang tayo ngayon, no. So about 48 hours ago, she was still performing her duty and obviously seeing the outgoing Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, and meeting the incoming Prime Minister, Liz Truss, and so it's terribly sad. I mean, you said I don't think you necessarily need to be a royalist or monarchist, but it's I think for me, I appreciate the fact that she's dedicating her life, to service. So it's very sad. But she was she may well be, remembered as uh, probably the most hardworking monarch of recent times. No, she was certainly still, as I say, no, Tuesday nga lang, no matter nga 48 hours ago, she was still doing her job. So terribly sad. So to all of us, of you nga, watching in the United Kingdom, especially, and those who have been who've been touched by the Queen and her service. Nga, condolences. It's terribly sad. It's to lose, of course, um, uh, uh, someone who's been an institution. So anyway, yeah, it's probably going to be quite a difficult, few days in the United Kingdom. I'm sure there will be an outpouring of grief, and there will be, of course, the funeral. I think arrangements are being made nga, no, dahil nandun nga siya sa Balmoral in Scotland. So she will, her body will be transported now. Will travel to London, to Buckingham Palace, and then, of course, the state funeral will take place, and then soon after we will be no doubt witnessing the session of Prince Charles, who's going to be our new king. He doesn't have to use, actually, I was looking this up, he doesn't have to use his name Charles. He can use his other given names, and one of them is Arthur. So it could be King Arthur. So we'll find out. I mean, I think he will probably use Charles, but there you go. Anyway, so kababayan, if you have if you want to share, any experience maybe you even met the Queen, share it with us. Batiin nyo nga kami, and please share your experiences. Yeah, it's very. I think for me personally, it's still quite. It's a sad day. I remember actually first hearing of Queen Elizabeth II nga, batang-bata pa ako. And at the time, marami nga akong kamag-anak nung nasa Pilipinas ako, bata pa nga ako. Marami akong mag-anak na dito sila nakatira. And I would hear them say about Queen Elizabeth nga. And so I actually thought at the time, yung Queen Elizabeth, because no one bothered explaining it to me, I thought she was queen of everyone, including actually Filipinas, which of course is, when you think about it now, it's a bit mad, really. But so at the time, even as young, I'd heard of Queen Elizabeth, and so it's and for most of us, actually, I suspect most of the viewers, unless you're age over 96, she's the only queen of England that we know about. So it's a sad day, but there you go. So I'll be interested to know now, if you're watching, share with us if you have any experiences you have in as regards Queen Elizabeth II. So anyway, bati ang time. I think Paula, we have some viewers who want to say hello, and I'd love to say hello back too. Oh, Miss Paner! Oh, you are our first viewer today. So, hello po kaya Sonny. Sorry, no Sonny today, and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po, and stay safe always. God bless us po. Yeah, to you too, Miss Paner, Marian. Yeah, happy Thursday. I hope you are well, and I hope you're keeping dry during today's Thursday, wet Thursday. Ito galing kay, watching us from YouTube, Annalyn M. Tagle. Hello, good evening po, Annalyn. Where are you watching from? Nasaan ka ngayon? Hopefully, nasa loob ka, dahil umuulan na sa labas ngayon. So, hello, Annalyn. Havanilio Irene. So, Irene Havanilio. Hello, magandang gabi po sa inyo. I'm watching here from in London. Oh, hello. Hello, Irene. Yeah. So, nabalitaan mo siguro, kamamatay nga lang ng queen natin, So, it's sad. So yeah, there you go. Analu, hi Analu. Analu, she's a lovely, lovely person. Si Analu. Analu ang puesto. Amazing evening, Attorney Lira, Kuya Sonny, Derek Pao, and to all viewers. There's sad news today that our Queen Elizabeth II just passed away. Tama ka, Analu. No, we're just it's so sad. I mean, I find it sad. I mean, I'm not a monarchist. I'm not certainly a royalist, no, but it's sad because she has dedicated her life to service to her subjects. Yeah, there you go. So galing po kay Carl Liza Juan, so, Christopher Miral. Watching from Sweden. Good evening sa lahat. Good evening, Carl. So, are you called Christopher or are you called Carl ba? Tell us, no? And yeah, how is it in Sweden? Hopefully you will, no? Evelyn Go, magandang gabi po sa lahat. Magandang gabi, Evelyn. Nasaan ka ngayon? Where are you watching from? And as I say, hopefully you're inside. Dahil lamig ngayon, hindi mo ganun lamig, but umuulan. So it's kind of nice to be inside. Actually, it's very nice to be inside, seeing all of you. No? Galing po to kay Mario Sunday in Che. Hi, good evening po. Watching here in Cyprus. Wow, Cyprus. Hi, Mario, no? Mario siguro ang pangalan mo. What's the weather actually in Cyprus at the moment? Siguro, mainit and all. Wow, it's but thank you for watching us from Cyprus. Madam Emmeline Rafael, and she's feeling good. All caps nga siya, no? Good evening, Sonny. Madam, si Rafael, wala po si Sonny ngayon. Unfortunately, may sakit siya. Actually, we're sending him all our love, no? May sakit na siya, but hopefully he'll be able to join us next week. So, good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira and everyone, and Direct Pao. Oh, happy Thursday, everyone still watching from Pinas. Are you having a good time, Mr. Rafael? Yeah, it's anong oras na dyan, no? Siguro, anong oras nga sa Pilipinas ngayon? It's probably madaling araw, no? Galing po tayo. Soren Nielsen in Copenhagen, Denmark. Hello. Hello, Soren. Are you actually Filipino? Tell us. No? Hello, though. Thank you for watching. The Libro class. Thank you so much. Rudy Libro. Masaya maulan ng Huwebes ng gabi. Elegante. I love this man. Lovely brain. At mabait na Attorney Lira. And slim. Yeah, he's getting slimmer now. Dami siya, no? Legend sexy, Sir Sonny, Super Sir Edgar, and lovely cum laude. I tell you, Paula is truly, she's a brain box, no? Lovely cum laude, Direct Paula, at lahat ng happy viewers. God bless us all. Team Libro. How are you, Mr. Libro? Kamusta ang pamilya? Hopefully you're well and you're inside, not outside na umuulan. Dan po to kay Salve Dawal Triles siguro, no? Good evening po, Attorney, watching po Barcelona, Spain. I love your picture, no, Miss Salve? Ganda mo. Wow. It's very Hawaiian, no? Hello to Spain. Yeah, Emily. Yeah, Miss Rafael. Yes, so sad to hear about the Queen. Rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth. Yun na nga. I think that's going to be a sentiment shared by many, no? I don't know, like them or not, the royals nga. She certainly has come across as someone who, has dedicated her life now to service and strangely and impressively, no? Sematis nga lang, no? She was still working. Receiving the outgoing Prime Minister and of course the incoming Prime Minister, Liz Truss. So it is astonishing. At 96, and she must have been feeling very weak even by then. To be doing that, I mean, that shows impressive dedication. So it's kind of So it's sad, but there you go. Now. I'm hoping today that you would join me and ask questions about a rather big topic natin. So now, so it's our topic is to do with work visas, okay? But this time, di ba, usually pinag-uusapan natin mga work visas. But this time, pag-uusapan natin kung nandito na nga kayo. So applicants in the United Kingdom who want to swap their visas to something that allows them not to work. So under the points-based system. So that's what we're going to concentrate on. And okay, pag-usapan din nga natin, of course, we also usually discuss the issue of shortage occupation, especially nga to do with cares. Pero ngayon, again, I'm moving away a little bit from shortage occupation list because that's a topic that we have discussed quite a few times before. So, pag-uusapan po natin yon, work visa, nandito na nga kayo, and kung hindi nga kasama sa shortage occupation list, which is, well, probably more people than those who are in the shortage occupation list nga, no? So, malaking topic po natin. On top of that, we have some very interesting questions nga, and we will be touching on things nga like someone who's an overstayer pero umuwi na nga sa atin, what would to do also with sole responsibility, gusto niyang kunin yung bata nga dito. So it's going to be quite a big, no? We'll be dealing with big topics nga today. So I hope that you continue to join us. And you know, it's please email us yung mga questions nyo. Happy to discuss nga anything, and now's the time to do that. So now, Paula, I don't shall we don't know whether we're going to go into a break for the moment or we're going to launch directly. So Paula tells me we're going to for a break, but don't go away, please, no?
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Happy Thursday po uli. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back to join us nga, no? Unfortunately, wala po ngayon si Sonny, si Kuya Sonny. He's not well. So our love and best wishes nga to him, no? I'm sure he's kicking himself for not being able nga to join us. So I will try and fill his rather large shoes and hopefully nga, no, entertain you. Me, of course, me and Paula. Without Paula, we will not air. So we'll try and our best to keep you entertained. Yeah. Now, happy Thursday to all. Yung earlier on, pinag-usapan natin, it's sad news, no? And namatay nga si Queen Elizabeth II today. It was confirmed at about 6:30 nga, which is it's very sad, especially as only 2 days ago, no? Sa Martes nga lang, no? She was still receiving Boris Johnson, the outgoing Prime Minister, and of course receiving Liz Truss, the incoming Prime Minister. So it is a week of massive development. So out with Boris Johnson, in with Liz Truss, and also so we have a new Prime Minister, only the third woman Prime Minister in the United Kingdom. She has now also appointed new cabinet ministers, including Home Office. Home Office is, of course, in charge of immigration, and I think the new Home Office minister is Suella Braverman. So, tignan natin. So we no longer have Priti Patel, who was the outgoing or home office minister. So let's see what now happens now with the home office. I hope that things will be dealt with properly. Hopefully, issues like delays with the home office applications will be looked at. But tingnan natin, no? And of course, it's only Thursday, but we've lost the prime minister, gained the prime minister, have had now have different ministers to do with home office and others. And of course, today at 6:30 this evening, it was announced that Queen Elizabeth, who was 96 years old, passed away. So she was the longest-serving monarch here in England, and probably top 3 longest-serving monarch in the world. So it's a sad day. It's a sad day. But anyway, let's the show must go on, so I would say. So we must go on. So pag-usapan po natin ngayon work visas. But it's a change from our usual topics. Usually we talk about shortage occupation lists, for example, to do with carers, and certainly making applications from abroad coming to the United Kingdom. But today, ang pag-uusapan natin, specifically, I've steered away from that because I want to discuss work visas kung nandito na nga kayo, applicants in the United Kingdom, and where the job, is not in the shortage occupation list, because that's equally that category of people, those applicants are of course will probably make up more than those coming in under the shortage occupation list. So it's a big topic. So I hope you will enjoy. Now, unang-una, nandito na nga kayo. So applicants, pag-usapan natin, applicants nandito na nga sa United Kingdom. So first question really is, can you swap, your visa, kung ano ang visa nyo ngayon, whilst you're in the United Kingdom? I mean, clearly, kung British ka kayo, you indefinitely remain, hindi nyo kailangan, o Irish, but if you have limited leave to remain in the United Kingdom, kahit anong lahi nyo, can you swap that limited leave to remain to be able to work in the United Kingdom, So ang tawag doon sa rota, it's called skilled worker route. That's the most common way of being able to enter the UK or remain in the United Kingdom to work, So unang-unang kailangan natin tignan, can you swap, Now you can't swap, so you cannot swap your visa if you are a visitor, So tourist visa, visit visa, same thing. You can't swap to skilled worker route kung nandito nga kayo, or if you are here on a short-term student visa. Again, say nandito kayo to study for 3 months or for 6 months. Again, hindi pwede. You can't swap. Or if you are the parent of a child student visa. So, ditong anak nyo, nag-aaral ng anak nyo dito, and you have a visa under that route, dahil kailangan silang samahan dito, then again, you can't swap to this, or if you what's called a seasonal worker visa. So, sabihin natin, nandito nga kayo, you've been brought into fruit pick, agriculture, for example. You can't swap if you're on this seasonal worker visa. Also, unfortunately, if you have a domestic work visa dito in a private household, so sabihin natin na nanggaling sa Pilipinas o nanggaling ako sa Dubai, Qatar, o namang bansa, nandito na kayo, you accompany your employer in the United Kingdom, ang visa nyo ay yung 6 months domestic work visa. Again, hindi po pwede. You can't swap domestic work visa to the skilled worker route, unfortunately. Also, kung nandito nga kayo, but you're on immigration bail, because you've been overstayers, sabihin nga natin, and your own immigration bill. At the moment, that means you also cannot swap the visa. And just for clarity, kung wala nga kayong visa dito, overstay nga kayo dito, then you can't also apply. So it's not a question really of swapping, wala nga kayong visa. No? You can't also apply under the skilled worker route. Kung overstay na nga kayo dito. On top of that, if you have may visa nga kayo, but being given a visa on compassionate grounds, no? Makikita niyo dun sa sulat ng Home Office kung nung binigyan nga kayo ng visa. So it would actually say there, you will give a visa on exceptional circumstances, compassionate grounds. Kung yun ang visa, yung klase ng visa nyo, again, you can't swap to this skilled worker route. So unless you come within those exceptions, then you can. So sabihin natin, spouse visa na kayo, nandito kayo dito, and for whatever reason, you can't extend on the same thing. Sabihin natin, wala na kayo, relationship breakdown, or indeed, kung estudyante nga kayo dito, matagal nga kayo dito, nag-aaral kayo, and you want to see about swapping over to be able to work in the United Kingdom. So apart from those, actually not so many exceptions, you should be able to swap your visa and to one that allows you to work. No? Nga, sabi ko kanina, ang pag-uusapan natin, we're veering away from the skilled, the shortage occupation route. So ang pag-uusapan natin mainly, we'll touch on the shortage occupation route, but mainly pag-uusapan natin kung ang occupation nga is not within the shortage occupation route. So hindi kayo nurse, hindi kayo doktor, hindi kayo carer nga dito, no? So what do you do if you're outside those types of occupations? Now, ang unang-una, and I say this in relation to anything to do with the points-based system, in-country, out-country application nga, shortage occupation list o hindi. Ang una pong kailangan nyo trabaho, no? Hindi nga iba kahit anong trabaho. Kailangan nyo yung employer merong lang lisensya. So sponsorship license ang tawag nga, no? So you need a job offer from an employer with a sponsorship license. Now, dahil nandito nga kayo, there are two types of what's called certificate of sponsorship. Basically, yun binibigay nila sa inyo, sa mga applicants, sa potential employees nila in order to be able to take up employment, no? So, yung ang tawag po, certificate of sponsorship. Now, dalawang class yun, no? There's something called the defined certificate of sponsorship, defined cost, and there's something called undefined cost. Kung nandito na nga kayo, estudyante o kaya spouse visa, nandito na nga kayo, ang kailangang bigay sa inyo is called undefined cost dahil nandito kayo sa UK. Kung magagaling kayo sa Pilipinas, sabihin natin, then kailangan nyo yung defined cost. So that's really the difference between the two. It's harder, frankly, to get a defined cost. But undefined cost, you have to, again, they need to allocate that to you. Now, it's actually a virtual number. So, reference nga lang bibigay sa inyo. So, yun ang una. Now, in order to be able to swap your visa, as I say, kailangan yung job offer in the United Kingdom from an employer that who has a sponsorship license and who can allocate to you at obviously one undefined cost. On top of that, or rather the next thing would be you need to be able to show a total of 70 points. Now, that's divided into, if you like, two main categories. So there's 50 points are from what's called mandatory requirements. So, ibig sabihin, you can't trade it off against something else. You can't make it up by doing something else. Kailangan yung pakita. Mandatory points. How is that made up? Now, 20 points po galing dun sa sponsorship. So, meron kang sponsor, they have a sponsorship license, and they want to issue you nga the cost, meron na kayong 20 points, which is great, no? Now, ang pangalawa, it's job skill. And this, we're going to spend just a little bit more time on because that is the thing that confuses people, no? So job at an appropriate skill, that will give you the next 20 points. Now, anong ibig sabihin yun? Now, skill levels refers to the level of the job itself, yung trabaho po, not the level of qualification. So, that's what we need to look at, no? The level of the job. Anong gagawin nyo nga dito, no? So for example, if you're going to be actors, no? So they're on the list, no? Actors, singers, for example, bricklayers, no? They're on the list. So your skill set must of course satisfy that, and the job is within this, shortage or this is skilled worker list. And not all jobs, I guess. For example, domestic workers are not on the list. But you will be able to find that out kung the job, the post is on the list by looking on the Home Office website. Now, if you can't find it, email me. Email ko mamaya because I have that list and I'll send you the link. No? On top of that, you should also check if your job is under the shortage occupation list. Pero yung listang nasa akin, na gusto ko, na I'm more than happy to share with you, nandun yung income din. We'll go through that. Now, I'll be coming back to the skill level. But so you have 40 points. So you have the job offer, and then you have the skill level. Now you get another 10 points, for English language. Now it's level B1 po. No, that's higher, actually quite a bit higher than say the A1 test kung pumasok nga kayo dito as a spouse. So kung pumasok kayo as a spouse, you would have undertaken, if you're coming from the Philippines, nga the A1 level. Nakapasa nga kayo. Pero hindi po yun sapat. Kailangan nyo pakita B1, no? And that's quite a bit more challenging, no, than they need A2. So if you're looking to change over nga dito, siguraduhin nyo that you've done the B1 test. Unless, of course, you exempt. Exemptions will be, for example, kung dito kayo nag-aral. So, estudyante kayo, you've done your degree in English, then you don't need to do the B1 level because you have the English language as part nga of your degree. O kaya, if you're coming from a country where English is the main language. So, for example, the US, no? So then you need nga to show the B1. But otherwise, kung manggagaling nga kayo sa Pilipinas, nandito na nga kayo, sabihin natin as a spouse, you need to be able to show the B1. And kung hindi kayo makapasa ang unang-una, take it again. There's no limit. No? So and it's valid for 2 years. So you should do it sooner rather than later, just in case you need to retake it. So going back, so your sponsorship license, no, sponsorship rather, 20 points. A job at the appropriate level, another 20 points. And then English language, 10 points. So 50 points na tayo, ha? Pero kulang kapos pa rin, no? Kasi kailangan natin pagkita 70 points, di ba? Okay. So where do you get the 70 points from? Now, the 20 points from. The 20 points is what's called tradable points. So you can put, you can use something else, no, in order to make up the 20 points. So, for example, po, no, kung trabaho nyo comes under the shortage occupation list. So, sabihin natin, you want to swap to, say, carer, no? This is it's part of the shortage occupation list. You get then the 20 points. But if it's not part of the shortage occupation list, then mainly in titingnan nila yung income. Okay. So now, because it's not part of the shortage occupation list, kailangan pakita that the income is at least 25,600, but no, it could be more than that. So so it's either 25,600 or the going rate. No, what they mean by going, so what's going rate is could be more than the 25,600. So, but it could also be less. If it's less, then if the going rate is less than 25,600, 20,600. Then kailangan yung pakita is 25,600 ang kita nyo, no? Now, the 25,600 is calculated also on an hourly basis. So, kung 25,600 ang kailangang sweldo nga, that equates to about £10.10 per hour on a 35-hour week, okay? So, even though ang income nyo 25,600, kung ang hours nyo is natin 40 hours per week, kapos yun. So, you need to make sure you do your calculations, no? So, if you're working, say, 40 hours, then you need to be earning £10.10 times 40 hours, no? Otherwise, if it's 35 hours nga, make sure that it's at least 25,600. But as I say, that could be more, no? Now, I'll give you an example nga. It's if actually I was looking this for a client earlier on. So, akong trabaho nga niya. So, sabihin natin nandito nga kayo. Actually, my client, nandito nga siya. She's on a spouse visa nga ngayon. But unfortunately, things have not worked out. Now, she actually is an actor, singer, no? Now, she wants to see if she can swap yung visa niya nga ngayon as a spouse to something that allows her to work on this basis, because she actually has had an offer, a job offer to that complements her skills as an actor and singer nga. And fortunately, yung proposed employer niya also has sponsorship license. So sa kanya, actor singer comes under the code 3413. Okay. Not on the shortage occupation list, understandably, no? Pero ang income kailangan niyang pakita, and this may be a problem for this client of mine, no? The income that she needs to show is at least £32,200 per year, per annum. And that's approximately £15.88 on 35-hour week per hour, no? So it's quite a high income, and that may be the issue nga sa kanya. But so there, the going rate, no, that's assessed for that job, that is code 3413, actor, actor or singer, or both in this case, is £32,200 ang kailangan sweldo niya. No? So in her case, sponsorship license hindi nga problema. Dahil may lisensya nga yung employer niya. She clearly has this skill set, and what she will be doing comes under, and her experience it will satisfy yung code nga 3413. Okay? B1 test, hindi nga she hasn't undertaken it yet, but she will take it up. Hindi nga din yung magiging problema. I'm confident she will pass that. So, and then yung income, yung kailangan ipakita. And that is where I'm a little bit worried nga para sa kanya. So, ang income na kailangan ipakita is no less than £32,200, because that is what they call going rate nga for that type of visa. So, but if she can, and we're hoping that she would be able to, 32,200, then ibig sabihin, mapapalitan niya yung visa niya, which is currently as a spouse, no, to a visa under the skilled worker route. No? So, ang visa bibigay sa kanya, likely to be a 3-year visa. If it's a 3-year visa, then there's a fee. So, let's look at the cost, no? There's for 3-year visa, it's £625, no? Dahil nga, it's not, she's not working, her visa will not be under as a healthcare worker. Kailangan niya magbayad ng IHS, the Immigration Health Surcharge, and that is calculated at £624 per year. So 624 times 3 equals 1,872. Okay? So ibig sabihin, kailangan niyang bayaran a 1,872 plus the £625. So obviously shy of £3,000, but that would be the home office fee. Maganda nga, in her case, even though nagka-problema nga yung relationship niya, and without being able to swap it for something else, kailangan bumalik nga sa atin, which she doesn't want to do. So because she does have this skill set, and she has this job offer from a sponsored license holder, she will likely be able to swap, yung visa nga niya from that of a spouse to that of the skilled worker route. So sabihin natin, she's able to do that. Now, if she's able to do that, she will need to satisfy a total of 5 years under the skilled worker route. Hindi niya pwedeng isama nga yung 2.5 years. Well, actually, she's not been here 2.5 years, but she can't count towards that, the time and she as a spouse. Okay? So that means it's 5 years na under the skilled worker route. And once she's satisfied that in 5 years na dito, then it could be, hopefully, makakakuha siya ng indefinite leave to remain. So she can then make an application for indefinite leave to remain on the basis that ang taon na nga siya, o mahigit na, as under the skilled worker route. Now, if that then continues, nakakuha nga siya indefinite leave to remain, 12 months after that, at least at the moment, unless the law changes, 12 months after that, she can make, after getting the indefinite leave to remain, pwede siya kumuha ng, magpasok ng application for what's called naturalization. Naturalization is the process nga before being able to get a British passport. So in her case, I'm hoping nga we'll be able to swap her visa. So kung nandito nga kayo at the moment, on anything but a visit visa, short-term student, parent of a child student visa in the UK, seasonal worker, domestic worker, or being given leave to remain under compassionate circumstances. If you're outside those categories, then you can seriously look and potentially get a visa as a skilled worker, in the United Kingdom. Of course, you can also go back, make an application from the Philippines, for example, pabalik nga dito, but you don't even necessarily need to do that. Yung kaklayante ko nga, as I was saying, who's here on a spouse visa, she will be able to, and I've advised her, to pursue an application nga in country in order to be able to see about swapping her visa to one that allows her to work in the UK. And beware po until you get your visa, the skilled worker route, hindi pa kayo pwedeng magtrabaho nga on that basis. But in her case, it's not actually an issue. The spouse visa nga siya, so she's able to continue working for on the same basis for the moment until she swaps. Once she swaps it, then of course, ang trabaho niya, she will be working for that employer that gave her the sponsorship, the certificate of sponsorship. So the sponsoring employer. So kung ganun sitwasyon nyo, look at this, and tingnan nyo maigi the skilled work route. And as I say, kung hindi kayo sigurado kung nandun yung trabaho nyo, then let me know and I'll send you nga the link to the Home Office website. Nandun po, nandun din nga. It's a little bit confusing dahil yung lista nga nung the codes, the skilled worker jobs, is actually separated from the list of where it's a shortage occupation list, and also separated in part from the list showing the income. So, but I'm happy to send you the links, so that you can check it out. Because if it's something that interests you and will help you, happy to help. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. So Paula, shall we now start discussing your questions natin? There you go. Paula's, as always, attentive and quick off the mark. Question 1 natin. So galing po to kay Sabel Dawal Triles, So sabi po niya, good evening, Attorney Lira. I'm looking for someone who can help me or give me advice regarding my problem with pre-settlement and immigration. Pre-settlement, for those of you who can't remember pre-settlements, to do nga for the EU settlement scheme. It was introduced to do with Brexit. So I applied for pre-settlement, but it's still in process. Sabi niya. I'm already working here in the UK because they gave me a letter that I can live and work while waiting for the decision. Now, last August, my company gave me a holiday, so I decided to visit my family here in Spain. Before I bought the ticket, I called the Home Office first to ask if I'm allowed to travel while my pre-settlement visa is in process, and they told me yes. When I went back to the UK, they held me, in immigration. I presented my pre-settlement letter next with my work contract, but they still detained me for the reason that they are not satisfied with my answer. The next day, after almost 12 hours, my gosh, 12 hours, so hindi ka natulog na, no? They sent me back to Spain. Hopefully you can help me with this one, Attorney Lira. Also, I hope you can give me a background on how much it will cost if I get a solicitor to help me with this matter. Thanks a lot. Galing po to kay Sabel Dawal Triles, no? Now, Sabel, I'm so sorry that you've had these issues. A lot of confusion, unfortunately, it still surrounds the EU settlement scheme, pre-settled status, or indeed even settled status in the UK. Now, so if you were given, really, I would need to give you, more definitive advice nga. I would need to see this letter na that you got nga from the Home Office. Now, the problem potentially sa'yo is was that I think that you may have been given potentially the wrong advice nung tumawag ka sa Home Office. Because you see, if your application was still outstanding, then and you had not yet been granted, pre-settlement status in the United Kingdom, and it could be that they deemed that in leaving the United Kingdom, you withdrew, your application. Now, but it could also be na nagkamali nga lang sila. They did not quite understand what this means. So that you actually were granted, if you like, it could be, or even be that you were granted pre-settled status nga, no? But I would need to really see the letters. Ang payo ko ito, Isabel. Gusto mo, sorry, kung meron kayong naririnig na aso, yung aso ko, that's Dr. Watson. No? Watson is barking outside. Ewan ko, may tao ata, no? And anyone who's on his patch, he barks. So kung narinig niyo yun, hindi ako yun, hindi ako yung aso ko, no? Anyway, going back to Savel's question. So I would need really to see the letter nga, Savel. Look, what you could do is just send me that, no? Bibigyan ko yung email ko mamaya. I'll have a quick look at it. And then if you want more detailed advice, then you're very welcome to refer back to me. We do for the office now, we have fixed fee interviews. And it's for £80 nga lang, we can discuss it in more detail. But because you are a viewer, padala mo sa akin, and I'm more than happy nga to look at it. Now, assuming na nagkamali nga sila, no, and really they should not have sent you back to Spain, the way to challenge it would be what's called administrative review. Iba po yun sa appeal, okay? In some cases, under the EU settlement scheme, you can also appeal. But here, in country or out country, you have the possibility of administrative review. But beware, you only have 28 days to do that if you're outside the United Kingdom. So make sure that you're within the deadline. Pero binigay sa yung sulat, it should say there if you can challenge it by way of administrative review. So don't accept it just like that. Padala mo sa akin, more than happy to look at it. Kung makakatulong ako, sasabihin ko sa iyo, no? But because you are a viewer nga, I will hopefully at least be able to point you in a direction where you can find out, is it nagkamali ba sila, or is it a problem that perhaps the Home Office calls you dahil mali ang binigay niya advice sa'yo na pwede kang umalis, or is it something, a misunderstanding that you have had, no? But you can challenge this by way of administrative review. Yung nga lang 28 days nga lang because you're outside the United Kingdom. So it's a strict 28 days, 28 calendar days. So it's inclusive of weekends. So beware. Okay, question 2 po natin. So ano pong pangalawa? Galing po to kay Urbano. Immigration question from Urbano. Hello po. Just messaging for a friend, no? Would like to consult po sana ang sitwasyon ko kasi hindi ko po alam kung saan ko lalapit na mag-uumpisa. This is about overstaying po. Now, background. Nanay ko po, nagpunta dito sa UK last 2007. Wow, okay, 2007. Under student visa. Then, nagre-renew siya. Nagre-renew hanggang 2016. Actually, that's a long time, no? 2007, so 9 years, ito po yung last na legal stay niya dito sa UK according to the visa. Hindi na po siya nagpa-renew ulit. Sayang, because she could have made use of the 10-year-long residence kung 2007 hanggang 2017, for example, nakakuha siyang extension. Anyway, hindi nga nangyari. Nag-overstay po siya until December 2021. So, okay, a few months ago. And then, voluntarily, umuwi po siya sa Pilipinas. Ako naman po, currently working as a nurse. So, ito si Urbano, no? Sa NHS Trust. Thankful na lang po ako at hindi po nasilip ng home office ang status ng nanay ko nung nabigyan ng tier 2 visa. It wouldn't have mattered, frankly, Urbano, no? May chance po ba makabalik ang nanay ko dito sa UK kahit tourist visa, no? Mag-a-appeal man lang po para makabalik sa UK. Ang main reason nag-overstay po siya dito para paaral ako, right? And now nasa NHS po ako working. Thank you po. Sana po mapasin yung message ko. Ironic, no? Dahil nga, naging overstay nga siya dito, nagsakripisyo nga siya, nag-aral ka, natapos ka, tapos nakabalik ka na, nandito ka sa UK, actually serving as a nurse with the NHS, no? Now, some limited good news, Urbano, okay? Now, ito po. Dahil naging overstayer nga siya dito, si nanay mo, ibig sabihin, she is banned for 12 months. Okay, yun ang umpisa. 12 months. But 12 months is not a long time, no? Umuwi siya December 2021. Now, 2022 na tayo. Okay, hindi pa nga ng December, but by December 2022, she will have been out of the United Kingdom for 12 months. Okay? So, she's banned for at least 12 months. Now, nung umuwi siya, kung hindi niya ginamit, kung hindi siya pinabalik ng home office and silang nagbayad ng ticket niya, then her ban, if you like, is 12 months as the starting point. Pero kung pinabalik siya, tapos silang nagbayad ng ticket niya, then the ban will be up to 5 years. No? So in this case, I'm assuming bumalik nga siya on her own accord, hindi niya ginamit yung home office, and she went back in December 2021. So as I say, she's looking at 12 months, so 1 year ban. Now, if, however, she was deported, which is probably not the case, no, deportation usually now is limited to, say, kung merong mga criminal convictions, or kung if she was found to have entered the United Kingdom illegally, no, illegal entrant. So sabihin natin or made false representations in the UK. So kung pumasok nga siya dito as a student, but in fact she had no intention of being a student in the UK. Then she started working. If she made false representations, then that could be a ban of up to 10 years. Pero I don't think yung kaso nga dito, dahil in-extend naman niya, no? In fact, if she managed to extend another year, no, until 2017, she would potentially have been entitled to apply under the 10-year lawful residence route. Sayang nga. But it could be that she may not have gotten it because the Home Office would realize, no, magti-10 years na nga siya dito. But anyway, so going back nga sa question mo, the starting point is 12 months ban, no? Now, but my practical, no, the realistic issue is this: kung naging overstayer siya, no, magdududa nga ang home office. Pagka nagpasok nga siya ng application, pabalik nga dito. Especially, kababalik ka pa nga lang niya sa atin. Actually, it doesn't help na nandito ka nga. Because they may say, well, hang on, lumabas ka sa Pilipinas, dumating ka dito, you are an overstayer for 9 years, bumalik ka nga, tapos gusto mong samahan nga o gusto mong kasama nga uli yung anak mo nga dito, so baka magduda sila sa intention. So if she's going to make an application, there's no harm in making an application, no? If she's going to make an application, she should do that. Yung nga lang, ang payo ko, make sure magpasok siya ng magandang statement. Anong affidavit? Sasabihin nga doon, anong sitwasyon, no? Anong babalikan niya sa atin? No? So, meron ba siyang pamilya sa atin? No? Meron mga kapatid, meron ba siyang mga apo sa atin, no? Meron ba siyang pundo nga sa atin, meron siyang negosyo, no? Anong babalikan niya? May babalikan ba siya sa atin? Kung meron siyang mapapakita, babalikan nga sa atin, then the chances are higher na mabibigyan siya ng visa pabalik dito, turista nga lang. I suspect, kung bibigyan nga siya visa, then it could be a short visa nga lang. It could be that she only gets a visa for 1 month. Kung sasabihin niyo, okay, 1 month nga lang siya dito. So, my advice is, no, pwede pa rin siyang magpasok because at the moment, by the facts that you tell me, no, she would be banned for 12 months. But it could be that she gets a visa to come back into the United Kingdom. But beware nga, kailangan yung pakita, you need to satisfy them that she won't repeat the overstaying. And that you can only really do kung meron siya babalikan dati, something substantial. Negosyo, pamilya, but hopefully nga both. Meron siyang sapat nga pera niya sa atin. So, the reality is, as soon as you have some kind of immigration background nga dito, that will go against any future applications you want to make, come back to the United Kingdom. So, be careful is my advice. But nothing stopping her from making an application. Kung ma-refuse siya, dahil visa ng application, pabalik nga dito, unfortunately, there's no right of appeal anymore. No? There's been no right of appeal against refusal of these visas for some time now. So it's even more important nga na siguraduhin nyo na kung anong kailangan nyo ipasok, yung statement nga, representations, that's on point, no? Na kailangan sabihin doon, and give evidence, hindi lang sabihin nyo, kung negosyo, pero walang ebidensya. Kailangan pasok yung ebidensya. Kung meron kayong nakabili siya manlupa, o kaya it's a property business nga sa atin, so that she's required to be in the Philippines nga, sabihin nyo lahat, no? So, you must make it clear. Now, there's no intention to overstay in the United Kingdom. She just wants to visit you. And she wants to visit you because you are a nurse. No? The nurse ka nga dito, you don't have as much time, unfortunately, I suspect, no? To holiday nga anywhere, including us with Pilipinas. So, you want your mother to be able to at least visit you in the UK. So, go for it. But be careful, as I say. No? Make sure nga that you evidence, no, na meron siyang babalikan sa atin, yun. O galing pa to, so this is Salve, no. So sabi niya, okay, attorney, I'll send you all the documents they gave me and the certificate of application from home office for my pre-settlement. Yeah, do that, Salve. I'll give you my email nga, no, and then make sure you email it to me. If you're able to email it to me as soon as you can, I'll have a quick look and huwag mo kalimutan, lagay mo din yung telephone number mo doon, Salve, so I can call you in case I need to clarify some points. So, again, bibigyan ko sa yung email ko, so stay on for the details. Yung email namin, yung email ko sa opisina, at saka yung telephone number ko din. But pagka nag-email ka sa akin, can you make sure, lagay mo immigration corner, yung sa subject. At lagay mo din pangalan mo, Salve. So, alam ko galing sa'yo, so bubuksan ko. At saka yung number mo, kung kalimutan. So, we can discuss it. Okay? Hey, so, bati to galing kay Hazel. Hazel Hiwatig, good evening po from London. Hazel, yeah, it's nice to, it's nice of you to say hello. Na, yeah, so nabalita mo siguro, no, Queen Elizabeth passed away early on, no. It was confirmed that about 6:30, no, this evening. This evening. So sad. So I'm sure London and the whole of the United Kingdom will be saddened by the news, no? Oh, galang kay Gigi. Gigi, hi Gigi. Gigi Labro, no? Good evening, Attorney Lira and Kuya Sonny. Happy Thursday, all viewers. God bless. God bless, Gigi. Yeah, unfortunately, wala po si Sonny ngayon. May sakit siya, no? But I'm sure he will, and I hope nga, that he will be much better next week to join us. Oh, Mas Edgar! Edgar, we missed you last week. I don't think binati mo kami last week. But it's so good to hear from you. Attorney Astonishing Lira and sexy golden voice of media, Sonny L. Sonny, wala si Sonny ngayon, unfortunately, and to the lovely multi-medalist, cum laude, Bulacan, Pau Pau. Sad evening po sa inyong lahat. May our Queen rest in love and peace. Yeah, Edgar. Yeah, yun na nga. It is sad. No, she's a woman who dedicated her life, no, in service to her subjects, us. No? So it's a sad day. Sad day. Oh, May. Hi, May. May Tigbao Vargas. Good evening, Kuya Sonny. No Sonny today, unfortunately, May. Attorney Lira and Direct. Oh, happy Thursday, everyone. God bless. Hi, May. God bless to you too. No, it's nice of you to join and join us. But at the moment, ako nga lang ako, and of course, Direct Pao. No, unfortunately, wala si Sonny nga ngayon. Sadly, no, because may sakit siya. So all our love and best wishes, of course, to Sonny. Now, I hope nga, no, you enjoyed and found our discussion on work visa applicants in the United Kingdom helpful and useful. Now, if you want to know a bit more about it, yung topic na natin, or you have some questions that you want to ask, then please feel free, no, to email me. Sabi itong details ko, no. Ang email ko po, kabatbat@douglas, tapos 2 S's, no, -simon.com. Telephone number po namin, 0203-375-0555, yeah? But frankly, it's better to email me. Pero kung mag-email po kayo, as usual, ang payo ko, lagay nyo dun sa subject, Immigration Corner. Ang problema nga, kung first time you're emailing me, pagka binuksan ko, and usually ginagawa ko nga yun sa gabi, pagka sinarado ko na, no, then I will never find it again. Unless you put in a subject. The subject is Immigration Corner po. Immigration Corner, and salve sa'yo, Immigration Corner, tapos lagay mo yung pangalan mo din, salve, no? So that I can then find it again. But any questions, I'm more than happy, of course, to discuss and kabatbat@douglas-simon.com. Telephone number 0203-375-0555. No? Now, I don't know if we have any more questions, Paula, but I don't potentially think we have. If we do, and I don't have, if we don't have time to deal with it now, o kaya pahabol na nga lang, we will definitely deal with it next week when hopefully, no, our beloved Sonny will be able to join us. So for all of you tuning in ngayon, and you don't see the familiar handsome face of Mr. Laragan, it's because may sakit siya, unfortunately. So he's not been able to join us. But I hope I've kept you entertained, nevertheless. And yeah, and I'm sorry to confirm, if you have not heard yet, that Queen Elizabeth II, no, our Queen, has unfortunately passed away today, on her 96th year, and having been the longest serving monarch in the United Kingdom. So sad, but condolences, of course, to her family, and I'm sure we in the United Kingdom and elsewhere, no doubt, will be saddened by the news. So, but there you go. But now, so I say again, kung meron kayong mga questions, more than happy to deal with it. Email me, yung kabatbat at douglas-simon.com. 2S may dash, 0203-375-0245. So, anyway, this leaves me to say thank you very much, for joining me, and of course Paula, Derek Powell, tonight, even with the sad news of Queen Elizabeth passing away. It's been a pleasure as usual to be with you on Happy Thursday, and I'm particularly impressed by I'm impressed by anyone messaging us. So thank you very much. Special thanks to people who are abroad, Filipinas, Sweden, Spain. Thank you very much for joining us. It is always a pleasure, And again, happy Thursday, and don't forget, we're back here next Thursday at 7:30. Hopefully with Mr. Laragan, but with another interesting topic. And any questions, as I say, that I wasn't able to deal with today, I will definitely deal with next week. Okay, so tune in. Okay, so anyway, just need to say salamat po, and for the moment, good night.